Hello and welcome to all the Hylians out there. I'm Joe here with me, my co-host Stan.
Hello and greetings.
And we have an exciting new video for you all. That's right. We're going to be taking a stab at this Tears of the Kingdom or Tears of the Kingdom? It's not clear which. Just as every other Zelda tuber is. Because, please subscribe, please. We want to reach 20,000.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge. Anyways, other than the only reason every Zelda tuber is playing and praising this game, let's get to analyzing it bit by bit. Yes, we're going to do that because why not? It's kind of our thing. This isn't a gaming channel. This is a lore channel. The game starts off with the reveal that Nintendo actually ended up outsourcing the development of this game. And yeah, I know, not to judge that too harshly. This game starts off much to the dismay of anyone who's an older Zelda fan, who enjoys the opening call to adventure of, Link, I'm trapped in the castle by Aghanim or Ganon or something. Rescue me, which I actually like that part of the call to adventure. It's kind of there in Ocarina of Time. It's definitely there in A Link to the Past. You kind of see a variant of it in Twilight Princess. Wind Waker kind of has it. Majora's Mask kind of has something. I like the initial drama and the dark force, such as Aghanim, Majora, or Ganon or something, looming over the prologue, and how you then have Link, who has to set out and meet with the Princess Zelda or come to her rescue and then set off on the quest. I really like this kind of intro. It's a very classic mythology in Arthuriana and classic knight in shining armor. There's a long literary tradition behind it. Now, what Nintendo has done is that they've eschewed it this time. I don't agree with them just going, Zelda, Princess of Hyrule. At least let us meet her, get to know her. We have to be told who she is. We don't get shown who she is. So I do have that criticism. But that said, we do start off with a Conan or Hyborian Age style intro of exploring ancient ruins, which fair. No, I'll actually say it's a fair way to start a game because that's also a long literary tradition within, the sword and sorcery subgenre of fantasy, but also other fantasies kind of sometimes start this way. And so, not going to criticize. It's a way of starting. Link already has the Master Sword. I just have the slight criticism of I'd rather have him not start with it and the Master Sword be something that's grand. And I do have that criticism. Now, I understand people are going to say, but it has to glow blue and, we have to be all, it's sensing darkness and evil within a few minutes. I get that. But on the other hand, I find it kind of removes from the Master Sword. You could have just had the golden compass of Linkle on Link and it starts glowing so that the Master Sword is not, it gets its full intro later, but you still have that kind of some sort of MacGuffin which starts going off, sensing whatever's behind door number 1. I understand people are probably going to get a little mad at us for daring to criticize the Sacred Cow, but I do think we need to go into this game with a level head and not treat it as any more or less special than the other Zelda games. I'm not saying that because I dislike the game. It's just that I just think that, and I think you agree, we should earn the Master Sword, not have it given. It's much better to earn something rather than be given it. And the Master Sword is probably the most special item in Zelda history. It's Excalibur in the context of the Hylian mythos. Now, that aside, ruin exploration and dungeon exploration is an old staple of Zelda. So I like that finally someone thought to bring down a torch. Because Link rarely seems to ever bring one down from the word go. I'm going to say that's Zelda doing that. So we already know she's the smart one between these two. I'm joking. Zelda comments on how anyone who's come into contact with the deep gloom under the castle has fallen ill. So we already know that there's a crossover here with Pokemon as gloom is spreading illness throughout the world. Good thing there's no Vileplumes.
And too bad there aren't any Blossoms.
I like Blossom. Anyways, Zelda soon takes notice that this Master Sword is shining. She says that the castle has mostly been neglected since Calamity, which I find a little disappointing. I would have hoped that somebody moved in and started cleaning and whatnot. But these ruins, we're told, are directly beneath Hyrule Castle. They're essentially an archaeological dig. Link and Zelda then advance down deeper into the ruins in what is, frankly, what I would argue, something of a callback to Fable 3's encounter with the crawler, which lay deep underground. Except, I'm going to be honest, I kind of found that Fable 3 had a better way of setting the mood in a way with the crawler. That was a genuinely creepy part of that game. Here, I have to admit that I like the better lighting. And Nintendo's aiming for is not a dawning sense of horror and creepiness, but rather just slowly easing into the story, which is an old technique of novels and not stories.
I love that they're trying to establish atmosphere.
I have to grant you, like I said, I prefer how Fable 3 did it, but they are setting up an atmosphere, which that's a good idea. Zelda then stumbles upon a non-spoiler-free walkthrough of Skyward Sword and Ocarina of Time, which, wow, Nintendo. Spoilers! I'm kidding. Zelda soon acts shocked to discover that the Demon King was factual and that Hylians joined with the gods to fight against Demise, which we as the fans already know this. But now we know how far ahead they are into the future, that all of this stuff has mostly been forgotten. So that's an interesting bit of lore, I guess. On the other hand, Zelda's very much confused by the Ganondorf mural, which shows Ganon stealing something, which it looks like the Kokiri stone. Arguably, these are tears of light from Twilight Princess, but it could also be Kokiri stone. I'm not sure. We're not very far into the game. It could also be essentially a euphemism for the Triforce, as Ganondorf did steal that in Ocarina of Time. So we now know this is obviously after Ocarina of Time, quite a bit after, and we also know that Demise lies so far back into the past. Zelda apparently thought it was just, she wasn't sure about anything regarding the Zonai, or I should say the gods and the Hylians joining forces, which we, the fans, already knew all this. All the lore she spouts here is not a shocking reveal. It's all right there. If anyone paid attention to Skyward Sword and Ocarina of Time, and even to an extent A Link to the Past, we all know this. So it is a little fun to discover that the characters in universe don't know as much as we. So that's in itself shows that we're going to be seeing this game from the point of views of Zelda and Link, which I do like that. I don't want my characters to know everything that I do. So right here, just as when you say play Warcraft 3, you know more than Arthas. Arthas does not know as much as you. Arthas has to operate with the knowledge that he has. So does Link and Zelda. So right here, I'm liking that aspect of the game. The characters discover a light at the end of a tunnel and decide that against all possible survival instincts to go towards it because they wanted to go see Jesus. Because why not? Oh wait, it's not Jesus, it's Ganondorf. Whoops. And we then discover the skinniest Ganon in the entire continuity. I mean, geez, this guy skipped leg day. He was so much buffer in Ocarina of Time. And he was so much fatter in A Link to the Past. I'm joking. Obviously, this is not in the falling timeline. I'd probably hazard a guess that where my previous guess, I think, was that this would have been in the adult timeline. We can safely say this is probably in the child timeline. And that this is after Twilight Princess? I'm not sure. The appearance of Ganon here with what seems to be some sort of arm and him being cadaverific is obviously a nod to Hour of the Dragon, where Zaltotun starts off rather desiccated in a corpse, only to then brought back to his full glory, it seems, with the Heart of Ahriman. Here they're borrowing from Hour of the Dragon, with Ganon being equated with Zaltotun. The nod to Zaltotun I like because Zaltotun's one of my favorite characters of the Conan universe. So we do get quite a bit of a treat there, stay to an extent, because the moment I think it's a ring falls from him and falls over at Zelda's feet and she picks it up after a moment's hesitation. Ganon's skull properly realigns and whatnot. And he then gets eyes, which he then glares at the two and sends some, what is it? Some malice, some gloom, some, like the Pokemon? Some dark aura. I gotta stop cracking the gloom jokes. Chucks some darkness at them, with Link naturally cutting through it with the Master Sword. And we'll get into what happens next in the next video because we have a lot of thoughts on it, and I just wanted to kind of deal with the first bit of the intro and the murals and whatnot. So what are your thoughts so far?
I don't mind. I actually enjoy aspects of the atmosphere. I like the fact that we're being introduced to a creepy
underground dungeon.
Yes.
Lots of Conan nods. The art also looks great. The character designs look pretty good. I still miss Link being in green right now. I remember I complained a few times in the past about it, but I actually think that the guard armor you have in Hyrule Warriors looks better. I'm not terribly fond of Link's current outfit. Zelda's outfit looks great. I don't have a complaint about it. Zelda, I think she looks better with long hair, but whatever. Her with short hair looks fine. Link's outfit, weird outfit he's wearing here. For some reason, it just doesn't look right. That said, Ganon as a desiccated corpse is pretty funny, so I approve. But honestly, this is some of the best Zelda art I've ever seen. I think the only art style I liked better was Twilight Princess. Yeah, I don't think I have too much to complain about either. Tell us what you think so far of this video and what you thought of the everything up to Ganon's Awakening. And next time we'll deal with Ganon's Awakening and a lot of what happens afterwards. So don't forget to, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like and that subscribe button as though you were Link taking down Ganon.